Hey guys, welcome back to the Alliance Tournament. I'm CCP Rise here with CCP Dolan. We're about to watch Solar Fleet versus Darkspawn. An interesting change of pace in this match. Both teams have warped a lot of their ships right to 0 on the beacon to start the match out. So instead of waiting for people to run across the arena to engage, we will have quite the brawl right when things get started. A particularly strange choice by the Solar Fleet Scorpion Navy issues. I would think that they would want range, but instead they're right there at 0. And Hurricane Fleet issues should be pretty happy about that, I think.
Are they Torp Navy Scorpions?
I was just thinking the same thing. That would be pretty awesome.
You can actually look.
Good idea.
I will carry it until you finish looking. For the other team, we've got Hurricane Fleet issues with a Hugin and the Scimitar. So the Hugin is going to really prevent anyone.
That's Torps.
From, yeah.
Torp Navy Scorpions.
I love Torps. They're actually my favorite weapon system in all of EVE Online. So if they can get blown up, like get their sig blown up by some of these Saber mids or something.
Smart Hurricanes just jet out of there.
Yep.
They're like, forget you guys. We don't want anything to do with your Torps. We're going after your support. I assume they'll pick this Cerberus off, or maybe they're just going straight for the Scimitar.
Yep,
they caught the Scimitar easily. They're going to go straight for that logistics ship.
That's the move.
These Griffin down.
Griffin down. These ships all have really strong tanks. They need to take the Scimitar out and render that sort of support useless. He's got an ASB fit, but he'll eventually run out of charges. I don't even think he'll actually need to run enough charges. He's just going to get killed right through his ASB.
Keep going for just a sec. I actually want to make absolutely sure that these are Torps so I don't get in trouble later.
Get flamed later.
Yeah.
So Hurricane Fleet issue of Black Phoenix taking a bit of damage here. He's not receiving any reps yet. A lot of damps on the Scimitar from these Merlins. So we'll have to see, Merlins and the Mollusk. We'll have to see if he can ever get reps. Yeah, he caught some reps now. Let's see if it's too late to save him because he's going to get pounded through armor and structure pretty quickly. It looks like the reps are at least stabilized. Nope, they have not. As I say that, Sabers and Slashers go down. Webs and target painters on this Hurricane Fleet issue. Extreme DPS. Scimitar traded for him, though. So that's not a bad trade with Blade Dancer of the Solar Fleet Scimitar going down.
Definitely cruise missiles.
Nice one, thanks. Cool, so we've got the Mollusk dropping. That's going to free up that Scimitar, who was damped down previously. For our viewers here, you can sort of follow the primary for the Solar Fleet team by just watching that tracking painter icon. So as soon as something gets painted, that's the primary for those Navy Scorps. Cerberus now primary for the Darkspawn team. Megadeth, they're going to try and take him down, Megadeth and the Harpy getting taken down by the support wing here. We'll see if they can take down X-Plan and the Cerberus as well.
This is quite the battle. A lot of back and forth here. Looks like there's a lot of damage coming in on this Hugin now. I was noticing that the Hugin always kind of an interesting thing to bring along, and I think that's probably helping them out a little bit on these Harpies. Being able to web those from far away so the Hurricanes can catch up to them, super valuable.
Yep.
Hugin tanking okay for now, but like as you say, Painter over on the Hugin now.
Yep.
I don't know if they'll stick with him. He has a Tech 2 tank and he has support from the Scimitar, so
he's just caught reps just now.
Okay.
So they weren't shooting through reps. We'll have to see if the reps now with the T2 tank, the T2 resist can actually save him. Doesn't look like it can though. That was too late on the reps. You can't be saving people when they're in 10% shield. You've got to catch them earlier and make the other team waste time on your reps.
And in the meantime, Darkspawn not really doing much to the Solar Fleet team. Even without logistics, they really aren't taking a whole lot of damage. Some of those Harpies taking some damage, but like the Cerberus and the Navy Scorpions both looking really comfortable right now.
So the primary switch is about to land on Splinter 07. Watch the timing before the primary switches back from Sir Stronghand to... Here we go. So the reps have switched from Sir Stronghand to Splinter 07. That was much faster than before, but he was still losing like 50% of his shields before he was getting reps.
I just think it's really interesting how much trouble these Hurricanes have had doing anything. I mean, the one they're shooting at obviously is Webb, so he can't really get to anything to shoot at it. I'm going to go check out the other one, though. I think, usually a big upside to bringing Minotaur ships is their mobility. It's pretty easy for you to move around the field. It's also pretty easy for you to project damage relative to some other ships because you have long fall-off range, so you don't have to be right next to things to be able to do damage. Some ships dropping, a Harpy and a Merlin going down there, and then the Hurricane Fleet issue for Darkspawn about to drop as well. And he's going to go down, I think.
I think one of the things they might want to potentially... the Hurricane Fleet issue drops for Splinter 07. Only one Hurricane Fleet issue left. Now switching primary to these Sabers. Already pre-wrapped, but under this DPS, they're just going to fall right through, especially with that target painter on them. I think probably taking out, even though it's a rough target to shoot, taking out the target painter on the Drake would be potentially good. If you're not going to break the Navy Scorpion tank and you're not going to kill the Cerberus because it's just too fast and can shoot from too far, catch the Drake and kill it. Take the target painter off the field.
So
you just got to kill something.
Before they switched targets to Sir Stronghand in the last Hurricane Fleet issue, I did a lookout on him to see what he was up to on my screen, and he's chasing after one of the Harpies. Like, separate from everything else, their, like, primary focus is the assault frigates. And I don't know, maybe that's not bad. Like, the Hurricane should be able to kill a Harpy relatively easily, and the Harpies can field significant amounts of damage. They also tackle, and that can prevent the Hurricanes from moving easily. But interesting choices here. I mean, the fact that they never really seem to switch to the main DPS of Solar is surprising, to say the least.
Yeah, it seems strange to chase the Harpy. Like,
right.
Just start killing something else, and the Harpy will come to you if it
right.
wants to do damage to you, and then you don't have to chase.
Right.
And you're gonna be eating cruise missiles the whole time you're chasing from the Navy Scorpions.
Yep.
I think some strong calls here by the Solar Fleet team. Moving on, almost certainly, as this match progresses down. We'll have to see. So Claymore being shot now, split damage between the Claymore and the Hurricane Fleet issue.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And another thing that does come into it as it gets later in the match, it becomes more and more unlikely that they'll be able to break one of the bigger tanks. And so then having the Hurricanes focus on assault frags, you know, maybe just to give them more of an opportunity to turn the match around, maybe to just make sure they get more points off the field, whether that's for honor in this case or to maybe actually give them a chance of turning the match around.
Yep.
That could be a thing, but like they have to kill some more of the bigger ships. And I think at least going for the Cerberus seemed like a good shot. They got the logistics down. It's not like it tanks well.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like Solar Fleet has just been beasting through that Scimitar's reps. Like, they haven't touched the Scimitar really significantly, except for some, like, Assault Frigate attacking it. But he's been landing reps, landing them a little bit late, but they've still just been, like, shooting straight through the reps on these Hurricane Fleet issues.
And speaking of Hurricane Fleet issues, the last one just dropped, leaving only a Claymore and a Scimitar. Really interesting to see the Scimitar as one of the last ships left on the field. That's definitely not something we see commonly.
And these Hurricane Fleet issues have been really popular in teams' practices. Like, a lot of teams really love these, but we just haven't seen them do well this weekend. They haven't been doing great in general, I don't think.
I mean, to expand that a little bit, Minmatar Rush hasn't been doing that well in general. We've seen a lot of Slipners, and just overall, they haven't done that great. No. And Hurricanes really are very similar in a lot of ways that Slipners, normal Slipner, Minmatar Rush. They're a little cheaper on points, but bring a really similar amount of DPS and speed, so... I don't know. Rush just not looking as strong. Being able to project damage over the whole field really well. Being able to, I don't know. It seems like doing damage over long ranges rather than actually moving around seems more important here.
Yeah, I think it just gives you so much control of the field. Claymore, last ship remaining for Darkspawn as the Scimitar of Terran Reaper goes down. And it's just going to be a chipping away at this Claymore shield tank. We've got, how many more matches left in the day? We only have four more
Four
matches.
after this, yeah.
Yep. So I think after this match, you're going to be taking a break, retiring for the rest of the day. And I'm going to be joined by CCP Fozzie.
CCP Fozzie will be back to tell you about what's happening in the matches. But anyway, congratulations to Solar Fleet. Good match for them. Darkspawn, we'll see you next year. And we'll be back in a few minutes, guys.